and girls, I want you to join us in welcoming the world's greatest DJ. His name is Till Mix. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. They're the sexiest. Ooh yeah, partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. Till Mix. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. They're the sexiest. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. Till Mix. They're the sexiest. Ghosts, ghosts, no gay demon masks, just ghosts, ghosts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want you to join us in welcoming the world's greatest DJ. His name is Till Mix. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. They're the sexiest. Ooh yeah, partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. Till Mix. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. They're the sexiest. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. Till Mix. sexiest. Ghosts, ghosts, no gay demon masks, just ghosts, ghosts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want you to join us in welcoming the world's greatest DJ. His name is Till Mix. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. They're the sexiest. Ooh yeah, partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. Till Mix. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. They're the sexiest. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. Till Mix. They're the sexiest. Ghosts, ghosts, no gay demon masks, just ghosts, ghosts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want you to join us in welcoming the world's greatest DJ. His name is Till Mix. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. They're the sexiest. Ooh yeah, partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. Till Mix. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. They're the sexiest. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. Till Mix. sexiest. Ghosts, ghosts, no gay demon masks, just ghosts, ghosts. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, baby. Let me go ahead and turn this down. Where are you at, DJ Tilmax? Let's go. A lot of talk. Go. There we go. There he is. I'm gonna turn it down nice and slow. Look at that, all professional. Like, oh hell yeah, let's go. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Happy Saturday to everybody out there in the old chat world and everything like that. James, my man from all the way across the pond. What's good? What's going on? You looking better today, James? You got something new going on? What the hell?
Yeah, I've got a new Chinese sweatshop stand, so my face is no longer like this. You know?
You were pretty menacing. I didn't know if you were in a gang or what you were doing. You were sitting some kind of.
It was hilarious when I was drunk and when I was doing drunk dancing. You know what I mean? And then I'd look back at the stream and I was like, why is my face so blown up? What is going on here? You know, because we talk about it behind the scene. I had an artist easel. And I basically had a little tablet stand.
Oh, here, show it. Do you have it? Show it right there. Yeah, show it.
I duct tape to an artist easel. Look.
So this is your
artist easel.
This is your setup right there. That's nice.
Yeah, that was my setup.
That's that high tech, bro. That's high tech right there.
I told you, I don't give a shit. I'm not a nerd, man. Do I look like a fucking nerd? Do you know what I mean? It's like aggro, isn't it? It's like, you notice when you get into this game, right? The funny thing about the streaming game, anyone can stream. Streaming, you know, it's available to anyone. It's taking over the old entertainment, the old media, you know, the old way you watch television and got your entertainments going out the window and out the door. But all you ever do when you do streaming is put your money in your pocket. Yeah. All I ever do is spend. I'm buying fucking tablets.
I tell phones, you, bro. No doubt.
I got this mic thing that I've got to but I tested it and it was like, so I was like, I can't fucking use this yet until I'm
gotta figure it out. Yeah. Bro, it's the truth. I completely agree with you, brother.
Headphones. How many headphones you got? I've got about 6 pairs of headphones.
Well, the funny thing is, this is the cheapest $12 headphones from like Target that I could find. I didn't even get one of the expensive ones. I was like, fuck that shit. $300 for headphones, bro? That's wild. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, dude, I feel you on the every time I turn around, there's a new tech issue that I'm having that pops up, and all of a sudden I have to become some kind of IT guy, some kind of, you know, I mean, I feel the Indian coming out in me, you know. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, let me fix this, you know. So yeah, I feel you, bro.
You are not doing this right, Mr. James. Mr. James, you are doing this wrong, and I'm like, I've been doing it wrong my entire life, for fuck's sake. What are you talking about?
Facts, sir. Yeah, for sure. All right, let me jump out in the chat real quick. We got Pat. Shout out to Pat. She's always here. We really appreciate that. We got DJ John.
The number one fan. Pat's like tip-top. And then you got like, Courtney's probably in second place. Third place is probably Scarlett Hampton. Fourth is Boris Mummy. Fifth is Kerry. Yeah. There's a whole list of them, isn't there, really? Yeah. Of the James Grabham fan club.
Well, what about that Courtney? We did a couple of those Courtney clips this past week. That was pretty funny. I don't know if she saw them or not.
She's got missing in action. She was she got too close. She got too close to the Grabham charisma and persona, and she's ran away for the hills, never to be seen again.
No, facts. And then we got Clippaverse down in the chat. But wait a minute, we also got Mr. Clippa joining us on stream right here. What's going on, Clippa?
What's up, James? What's up, Ray?
How you doing, pal? You all right?
Good to see you, man.
I wanted to weigh in on this tech conversation you're having and give you guys a new hell, which is a lack of plug abundance. My whole setup here runs through a USB-C, and now that everything's like USB-C, my laptop has one. Yeah. It has one.
Oh,
and now
facts.
It's being used.
Facts, bro. I have USB-C hubs like crazy, man. I got hubs inside of hubs. I got a couple different dongles. Yeah, and I got a 2-monitor setup now, so I got like a FireWire running an HDMI, bro. Like, dude, it's crazy.
Computers used to have like 8 USB slots, and now they have one max. It's insane.
Yeah, they did. Everybody's shouting you out in the chat, Riley. We got Pat. She's out here. She's saying, Riley, let's fucking go. John's saying nice.
What Vito does when he gets plug abundance, he just sticks his thumb up his cat's ass, doesn't he? You know? That's how he gets rid of plug abundance.
There you go.
Yeah. James is gonna take the piss out of Vito a little bit. He's good at that though.
Suddenly, Vito Jizz Vito Jizz is Ray's best friend. I didn't know anything about you, Ray. Where have you been? Where have you been all my life? Oh,
Yeah.
you popped up on Ethan's stream. You're about to blow up and be incredibly popular. I'm just going to tell you that you're going to do a cover for Super Killer 2.
Oh,
Super
yeah, you
Killer
saw
1's
that?
Super Killer 1's never coming out. But you can do a cover for Super
What,
Killer
Super
2.
Killer 2? Yeah,
Yeah.
as soon as he
Yeah.
noticed all the attention he got yesterday, bro. He was all over you on Twitter today.
Oh yeah, bro. He was
No,
like,
I love this. I should have bought it myself. Wow, it's so great.
oh yeah, he was ready to jump in the chat and everything. I was like, Vito, I got other ones. I got like maybe like 20, bro. I've been posting them for like 6 months, man, and tagging both those guys for like 6
No,
months.
the value of the art to Vito is directly related to whether it's popular on Trashcast or not.
Yeah, facts. Now, for people who don't know, I went on Ethan Van Sciver's art auction last night. That was a lot of fun.
Auction, not Trashcast.
That was a lot of fun, so I appreciate it. Shout out to Ethan for that. And also, special shout out to Mersh. Mersh was also a big champion of mine, trying to be a little bird in the ear of EVS about me. And also shout out to Riley and D-Wag and everybody else who
Oh yeah,
were...
don't forget D-Wag. Jesus, my God, don't forget D-Wag. I tell you, he gave me. I tell you, he's been telling me off in private, isn't he? He's like, you know, you're anti-comics gate, and that's very bad. And he's like, he's telling me what I should and shouldn't be saying and doing. He's a funny character. He's a funny old guy. I'll tell you, he's loyal like a dog, that D-Wag. I admire him because he's loyal like a dog.
Yeah.
He's loyal to his mate Zaid, and he's very protective, like the Praetorian Guard of Ethan. No one shall say anything against Ethan. So I promise, D-Wag, I will never, ever say anything bad about Ethan Van Sciver again. Promise.
Well, don't make any promises, you know, James. I know how you are sometimes. You get on a rant, you get a couple Stellas in you, bro. You start dancing. You know what I'm saying? You start going after it, having a good time.
Yeah, Ethan's got no use for me. Ray's an artist, and I'm a piss artist. So Ethan's got no use for a man of my talents.
Yeah.
Plenty of bad artists, you know, like Liam, have found some use around here.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. That's another controversial take. Did you see how EVS was talking the other night about? He's like, I don't want to know if Liam is doing different things, tracing or AI or whatever. He's like, I don't want to know. And
well, okay. You guys, update. EVS did tell Liam off this morning, and we all came to the conclusion this morning on a different stream.
Oh, really?
On a JJ Trujillo stream, and we kind of came to the conclusion that those of us like Ethan who are neutral to lowly supportive of Liam pretty much can't do anything else for him. He did a stream this morning where or last night for him, where he's outside in a chicken coop crying, saying as many bad things as he can think of about his wife and how she's neglecting their kids, and just a bunch of they're not fit. It was bad. It made them seem like unfit parents and shit. It was the worst I've seen Liam.
Wow. Okay.
I
was not aware.
And I bullied him into deleting it.
Yeah.
So,
bro, you should not talk shit about your wife on stream, man.
That was Ethan's take too.
That is wild.
You know,
why
that's too far.
People, right?
Go on, James. What were you saying?
Yeah.
Why do these people feel the need to air their dirty linen in public, dirty laundry in public?
I don't know. Just don't turn the stream on. It takes more effort to do what you're doing than to not do it. I even said on the stream we were on, go out to the river and make your suicide bait, talk shit about your life videos without a camera. Don't bring one. Just do it sitting there talking by the river. It'll be better for you. I get that he has the compulsive therapy need to do it, but just don't film it. Don't live stream it.
Yeah, facts. It's almost like you have to create a character, and you use that character when you go on stream, but when you go off stream, you leave the character alone and you go back to real life. That's kind of how I think about it. I love how Charleston White talks about it. He's a character on stream, and his real life is his real life, and they're separate. And they might cross over every once in a while, but he never brings his real life kind of on stream. You feel that way, Klippa? Is that how you look at it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff I could tell you about what's going on in my life right now, and I'm not going to.
Yeah, right, because you don't want it to be dragged or poked fun at or whatever, because you're trying to make things happen. And, the internet is going to the internet is like that girlfriend that you have that she doesn't know where she wants to eat. So you got to like kind of like outthink her a little bit and say, okay, well, you know, guess where we're going to eat? It's a big surprise. You'll never guess. And then her first guess is the one you pick and you say, exactly, Long John Silver's. That's where we're going. And she's like, oh my God, I didn't know. So that's kind of what you got to do with the chat. You know, you got to kind of, you know, surprise them, delight them, you know, kind of be one step ahead all the time. And when you fall behind and let them get ahead, bro, they're like a dog and they thrash you. You know, James, what do you think about that? Or go on, Ray.
I think the problem with Liam is like all of his online pals, all of his online associates, they're all in America, aren't they? And I think he feels a bit distant because he's in Australia, he's in the outback, he's in the middle of the nowhere, he's isolated, he's probably got no friends, he's probably got no outside interests, and he just goes online and he lets the chat get into his head. You remember they used to do that fight thing, fight. You know what I mean? To me, the whole Liam thing was him fighting JDA, and he never fought JDA. And then to me, that's the Liam character busted.
Yeah,
you know
facts.
What? I don't know where you go from there. If you call someone out and you say you're going to fight them, you've got to move heaven and earth to do it. I'm not saying go and beat up everyone you have an argument with because that's bollocks, it's bullshit. But I'm just saying he made a really big deal that that JDA had ruined his life.
Facts.
And he said they could have set up a charity boxing match. You know, they could have settled it, and win, lose or draw, Liam would have come out of it with some dignity, and he could have moved forward. Yeah. But he lets the same people get into his head all the time because he's kind of like he's weak-willed and thin-skinned.
Yeah, we got a D-Wags in the chat. He woke up, and we got a special surprise. We got King Mersh in the chat. Shout out to Mersh. Big shout out to Mersh for you know, getting in EVS's ear and kind of trying to make that happen for me, and really appreciate that, Merch. Thank you so much, bro. Really appreciate that.
The Pie Whisperer. I reckon they bribed him with a load of pies or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Pie Whisperer. Let's fucking go. That's what I'm talking about. No, but you know, you're right. Liam is like way down there in Australia. He's got beautiful land, and he just keeps making the wrong steps to try to get attention. I don't really get that. I don't understand that.
He has a life, doesn't he? Look, he's not. He isn't. I know he is. He comes across as an online loser, right?
Yeah.
He comes across as a bit of an idiot, a bit of a gimp. But this man does have a wife. I don't know what she looks like. She might be a dog for all I know. But he's got a wife, and he's got kids, and that's his main responsibility. His job is to get on stream, you know, make some money, get his comic books out, earn a living for his family, and take care of his family. All the other shit is unnecessary bullshit he shouldn't be getting involved in. Once you've got a family, fucking, that's your priority. Stop being a dick.
Facts.
I mean, it's too easy for him to stream every part of his life. A lot of people have problems with this. Ethan Ralph had this problem before. Like, people will just stream every facet of what they have going on instead of not doing that, which just... Oh, I mean, I don't know. A person who does that, you can't talk to them about it. They don't...
About anything. That's normal. Yeah. Also, the other thing, too, is it removes the mystique and the allure. You know, except, you know, I will say Ethan Ralph gave me one good line. He said, Ray's art is shit, but his cooking is pretty good. And I'm going to use that whenever I make a book. I'm going to put that right on there. That was pretty funny, bro. Yeah, but you can't stream everything, you know. And, you know, you have to have...
Yeah, that's the whole criticism. Like you can't stream everything. Turn the camera off sometimes. Talking about your wife and kids, posting pictures of them online. He does all this stuff that's like weird, and he shouldn't do it on the internet at all. But especially not with like you got to understand that he positions himself all the time as like a victim of some kind of gang stalking, and then he posts pictures of his kids online.
Right.
And they're just if you believe one thing, you can't be doing the other thing without being a piece of shit. Like correct your behavior. Make your behavior match your thinking, or your thinking match your behavior.
Yeah. Well, one of the big red flags for me was when Liam pulled his daughter on stream to tell her to wave to everybody, and EVS said, yeah, EVS was like, no, hey, let's get her off stream. And I was like, ugh, you know, don't put the kids on stream. You know, let's at least protect them until they know.
He said,
yeah.
He said on the now deleted stream from this morning, like he opens with like a couple jokes while crying in a chicken coop. He says he can't show his
crying
feet
in a chicken coop.
Yeah, he's crying at chicken coop, and he's like, oh, my wife's asleep. And he's like, I can't show you my feet because he's like trying to say that they're all beat up from him having to run that day. And he's saying that he can't show his feet on camera because there's weirdos out there. But he also posts pictures of his kids swimming.
Yeah. Dude, that's so bizarre. Yeah, it's a big
I
contradiction.
know for a fact that D-Wag's got a foot fetish. I know this for a fact.
He knows
Yeah.
D-Wag's trying to jerk off to his feet, but he's not trying to hide his kids from Vito. And that's like a bigger problem.
No, that's the truth. And the bigger question is this: are some people's psychology, they crumble into themselves when they get online because of this expectation of attention, of likes. It's like almost like they
Facts.
become gambling addicts, isn't it? They keep hitting that slot machine, trying to get a bigger return, and they're never satisfied. And so it just kind of spirals down and collapses inside of itself. Now, of course, that would never happen to D-Wag. D-Wag lives in that dumpster over there in Indianapolis, and he's out there getting donuts. Shout out to D-Wag. That's right. You know what I'm saying? But doesn't that do you feel that kind of way, Riley, that psychology is kind of like that? And it's really a bigger discussion about online, personas, activities, and how people are going to behave going forward in society.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what's always defined a lolcow is the cyclical nature of their pattern of behavior in the face of negative results each time. Just over and over and over again, the fucking Einstein quote, This is the kind of thing that you always think is really midwit and, like, nobody would fall for it. And then you see somebody like Vito, like, do it. Or you see somebody like Liam, whose book is good. Dino King's good. I reread it, too, just to make sure. Was I being favorable? No, this is way better than the person.
Yeah.
And that's why you need a separation between art and artist, though. If he could be just off stream working on his comic book or draw streaming it, whatever, then he would win a lot of people over just by that. You're talking about the button that he's trying to push to get the slot machine to pay out again. The last time it paid out was Ethan Van Sciver reading Dino King on a whim and then being like, oh shit, having to come on stream and tell everybody to go buy it. And then he made $20,000 that weekend. So Liam, if he wants to hit that button again, needs to release more Dino Kings, not do more streams.
Well, that's very interesting.
You could hear that.
Yeah, that's very interesting that you say that because that button was pushed by Ethan Van Sciver, not by Liam. You see, that's very interesting.
Right,
so he
that's
didn't
true.
do anything to get that. He just, like you said, did the Dino King, and then it got platformed, and then he got all that attention. And we're seeing that kind of same pattern. We see the same pattern with Eric July. We do see the same pattern with Vito, and I'm sure you could make an ongoing list of the different kind of people that when they get online, it almost becomes too big of a seduction for them, and they fall in love with the possibility of fame or being popular. It's almost like James, you were talking about the cool kids table. It's almost like they want to be at the cool kids table or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, when I started, I didn't really want to do streaming. You're my pal, and you were like, you want to come on. It wasn't like I was like, I desperately want to get into streaming. I want to be online famous. I want to make X amount of money. I'm not making anything out of this. I come on because you're my pal. I told you I do it for free.
Yeah, we saw it for free. We saw your setup, bro.
Yeah. It was like I was like I couldn't be less bothered. I couldn't be less asked. As long as I look good and I'm wearing a fresh tracksuit, I don't really give a flying fuck. You know what I mean? I come on, I say my bit. Sometimes it takes and people like it. Sometimes I hit a raw nerve and people think I'm an arsehole. But I don't lose any sleep over it because generally I don't think about it. I told you, I'm not like a fan of these people. I told you when we were talking off stream, I like people by the measurement. Could I go for a pint down the pub with this person? Do I fancy this bird? And that's pretty much how I do this online thing. And I said, with your interview with Riley, I said, Riley seems like a really switched on kid. He seemed smart. The interview was good. You asked the right questions. I enjoyed it. It was engaging. I think it did decent numbers for where we're at the moment. And it's like, that's all you can do at the end of the day. I'm not going to if I did something shit or people didn't like it, I'm not going to cry myself to sleep or beat myself over it or rush on stream and beg for forgiveness and turn myself into an object of ridicule. Because really, the people in the chat, I like some of them and I like quite a lot of them, but I don't really give a fuck what they think about me personally.
Yeah, that's kind of how you have to be. And we had a really good conversation with you and I, Riley, yesterday about a lot of insightful things about, your past and who you are. And that was fantastic. And I think a lot of people really got to see a different side of you. And, and that's what people don't understand.
That's okay. I'm making rape jokes again today.
Okay, good.
Back to the rape joke.
Yeah, you got to go back to that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can't be serious all the time because then people lose interest and they're like, oh, this shit's boring. You know what I'm saying? You got to make a couple rape jokes, couple of black jokes, couple of white jokes. a couple of funny jokes here and there about all that kind of stuff.
Now you're taking it too far, sir. Now you're being woke.
Well, that's
okay?
right. Yeah. Well, isn't that interesting, though, that you're bringing that up? Because, the different groups, they have their different red lines in the sand. What this is too
Facts.
far, and they all pretend like none of them have red lines in the sand. I remember you were telling me yesterday. You said, "Be careful, you're going to probably offend this group or that group or whatever." And even though they're like your fans now, they could not be your fans later. But you have to be okay with that, and that's how it is.
And just don't block them because they'll come back maybe or not. It's up to them until you block them, and then they're like, "Oh, I fucking hate that guy."
Well, I remember what Dick said. Dick was talking about when he did the biggest problem with Maddox, and he said for the first 2 years, everybody hated Dick. And then because he stayed around, they all turned and they all started to love him. And I really took that to heart, and I was like, oh, well, shit, if that's all I got to do is outweigh some people on the internet. Oh, you know what now? What's that, James?
I said, I heard Vito doesn't hate Dick. I heard he loves Dick.
Yeah, he also likes Q-tips, but Vito's he's a great writer, and I'm really looking forward to the next things that come out, the Super Killer related stuff that's
Super Killer 2030. That's what the new title's going to be, Super Killer 2030.
Yeah, but I really understand how people could get bored and they say, oh, I'm not into this comics book stuff, I'm not into that. But really, when I look at it through the lens of psychology, it's really like exciting because you see how different people act, like when they're given a little bit of popularity or they're given a little bit of, like stuff like James, like you and I had to fight for, coming up in high school, going to college, we had to actually go up and talk to the girls. But now, with streamers, they can sit in their room and just like get, tons of followers, and then all of a sudden,
romances, don't they?
Yeah, all the girls come to them or whatever, and they're all like, "Oh my God, I love you," and they've never even stepped outside of their house. You know what I'm saying? So it changes the type of men that we have in society, don't you think, James?
It's like I told you, didn't it? If you take pre-COVID as one example, and then you take pre the birth of online culture, so. When we were growing up, well, I had my birthday the other day, didn't I? So I was 45, so like 81, I was born. So I've gone through it. And like when I was coming up, every day was a fucking bitter struggle, right?
Yeah.
Friends would be friends 1 minute, then they'd be bitter enemies the next.
Yeah.
One day you'd have your best friend and you'd be going around his house. The next day you'd be fighting over a girl. You know what I mean? And, there'd be like the girl of your dreams. And she'd be dating your best mate and you'd feel bitter rejection. You go out to the bar, you go out to the club, you go out to the pub. There's a load of geezers. Some of them are better looking than you. Some of them are richer than you. Some of them have got more charisma than you, wear better clothes than you. And you're fighting tooth and nail to just get a fucking bird at the end of the day. You know what I mean? That's how hard it is sometimes. Well, we've come up with that struggle. And now it's totally different. I don't understand a lot of the kids today. I've become an old man overnight. I'm like, those kids, man, I don't fucking get them or understand them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing now. It's trying to bridge that gap. I'm trying to bridge a gap to a generation of people online that don't have a fucking clue what I'm talking about. There's like, who's this old cunt on stream? Fuck him off. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit like that, but
facts. We got D-Wag in the chat. He says, does James like Dick? That's a big question. Shout out to...
I don't know your dick, you dick.
Solkarion, I'm sorry, I didn't say your name right, but shout out to you, bro, in the chat. DJ John says, James, you're an asshole, but you're our asshole. Facts. Shout out to John out there, whatever he's doing. But Riley, you're kind of a generation behind James and I. How do you see this playing out? I know you've gone through some struggle and suffering, but then you've also been in the online world a lot longer than we have. James and I just came to it, basically recently within the last couple of years. What are your thoughts on that?
On what specifically? What do you
Online, well, how James was talking about how, like, when we were growing up, we had to fight and struggle. We had to go up. We had to talk to the girls. We had to. Everything was in person.
I mean,
right?
Everyone's still doing that. They're just doing it online, right? So there's this layer of obfuscation that I think really just shortens the encounter times, or in someone like Liam's case, lengthens them indefinitely. All of your good and your negative experiences happen instantly with a swipe of your finger, or they happen for the rest of your fucking life, and you can't stop it.
Yeah.
And that's what the internet gives you. Versus like what you guys had, which was like 50 minutes of being awkward in the same bar if the chick that you hit on doesn't like you. Now on the internet you get blocked at best, and at worst you get like a videos made about you talking to them, or a viral tweet about the DM you sent when you were shooting your shot.
Facts.
death for the Gen Z. I mean, I'm glad I stay away from people my age, and you know, I don't have to worry about like their sensibilities and stuff. I'm 40-year-olds. I make them cry instead.
Yeah, you make 40-year-olds cry.
Cool.
Yeah, hell yeah.
No, it was like me, wasn't it, when I sent my when I did a sexual advance to my mother instead of Martine. You know. When
Right.
I told you that.
Yeah, no. Now that's like pretty much every interaction that Zoomers have. You know, it's some level of that terrible feeling.
Yeah, right.
And
but it seems like it's all the time, and it seems like the relationships now are far more brittle. Like they break apart really quickly.
Yeah.
Like you didn't like my post in time, or you didn't see my story, or whatever. And now and who knows?
Or you did see my story, but you didn't text me. There's these traps you can fall into now, where they can track everything that you're doing all the time, and then they can like treat you and like you're treating them badly for it.
Yeah, I loved it when women had to work a little bit to stalk you. Now they can stalk you with ease, bro, from eating their bonbons. And then also the filters now. I don't know if this ever happened to you, Riley. Maybe it happened to James, but when the online dating came around, like maybe back 2016 or 17, I went on Tinder and everything like that, and I would meet up with these girls, and I'd be looking at their picture, and then I'd look up, and it would be like their fat sister. Or I'd look at their picture and they'd be like 10 years older, and I'd be like, is your sister in the back? She's like, no, that's me. And I'm like, oh my God. Has that happened to you, Riley? Have you ever experienced that?
One time a girl I matched with on Tinder that I didn't end up talking to much longer than a day or two came up to me at a bar I was at with friends because she was like, I matched with you. You don't recognize me? And I did not. She was overweight. By an amount that was, like obfuscating her original image. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
I've had that experience.
James, have you ever had that happen where you you agreed to meet up with a girl through like an online dating thing, and you show up and like it's really an Indian man or something like that?
Oh, that's the future. That's the future.
Could happen to me sooner rather than later. No, but I fucking hope not. No, I think my one was I got drunk.
Yeah.
I'm usually drunk, so I was out clubbing.
Yeah, I'm usually drunk. I love that.
I'm usually drunk.
I was out clubbing and I was drunk, and I remember chatting up this bird, but it didn't go anywhere because it was the end of the night, so we exchanged numbers. And then we agreed to meet the following week at the same club. And she was like outside in the line, right? And I was with my mates. So I phoned her and it starts ringing. And I go, that can't be her. I didn't pull that bird, did I? How drunk was I, right?
Yeah.
And she was as fat as a fucking house, right? Seriously, it was an absolute munter, right? And this is what I did, right? I saw another girl who was fit at the back of the line that I knew, and I chatted her up, and I said, "You're right, darling. Do you want to go to Atlantis? I don't want to go to Kingston." So I legged it round the corner with her, and I left the fat girl in the line, just like stood her off. Because like when I was sober, this is how bad I am when I'm drunk. I'll shag anyone when I'm drunk. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that.
It's that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like a dog with two dicks.
Yeah.
But it's like
dog with two dicks.
When I'm sober, I'm like, rationale kicks in. You're like, Jesus, I'm not doing that sober. I'd have to be fucked out of my head to do that.
Well, I remember you told the story about the meat sweats, bro. That had me rolling for like a whole week when I was
She had some powerful beer goggles.
Like, you imagine like nice girl, good personality. Some fat girls have got really cute faces, haven't they? Cute face, but like when you're in it, right, and you're giving it some, right, and the sweat.
Wait, how's that go?
The meat's giving it some, you know what I'm saying? And like you're really like pounding her out. And it's like the meat sweat through the skin, and the stench was unbearable. You could, I don't know how much meat this fat girl ate, but fucking hell.
James, in America, we call that gravy. It seeps out through the pores. Yeah, that's rough. We got D-Wag in the chat. He says Ray Ray is a boomer. I was getting catfish in 2005. Let's fucking go. D-Wag. All right. Pat says,
I can't get how much younger than he is to me. He's like mid-30s, isn't he, or something? Fucking hell.
Something like that. We got Pat in the chat, and she says men do it too. I don't doubt it. I bet there's all kinds of crazy men out there. I just don't know about it because, obviously I don't really search for the men thing, but I bet there's some horror stories. I would love to hear some of those sometimes.
Online in DMs by gay men. I better not be.
Yeah, and
catfished by gay men.
Yeah, shout out to Cade the Todd. He goes, James, stop it with the meat sweats, bro. I'm eating. So calm down with that. I was like, yeah, that'd be enough to turn anybody off, bro.
He's suddenly blocking me online and turning into a hater. That's what happens. You open your mouth. I only have to open my mouth and I get 10 haters.
Yeah. Oh, shit. We got somebody popping up. D-Wag, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, shit. You got D-Wag back up in this, bitch.
What, did you just wake up? You just crawl out of that dumpster? What's going on?
Looks like he's still in the dumpster.
He's still in the dumpster.
Yeah, me and Cliff was like, you know what I'm saying, keeping it cool.
Yeah, facts,
you know what I mean?
facts.
Like, secret powers and
shit,
you
bro.
know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
gotta
gotta
keep my powers. Bow,
Yeah.
baby. Let's fucking
Bow.
go.
Yeah, you got to conceal those power levels. Facts.
You guys don't know this, but D-Wag and I have hung out in my Prius and done illicit drugs together.
Oh, nice. Like in real life?
drugs?
That's facts.
Yeah.
Bro,
Awesome.
we did like real drugs, bro. Like
Yeah,
in
we were
real
doing
life.
hardcore stuff. In that
Like,
Prius,
All you
bro.
fucking, all you
Bow.
fucking boomers talking about this
Facts.
old shit, bro. But y'all motherfuckers like stuck in your house. Me and Cliff go out and do real shit. This motherfucker bought me Denny's, bro.
Yeah.
That's true.
What was they? Powdered donuts? What were you guys eating?
Waffles up in that bitch, bro.
Kay the Todd says, it looks like you guys could be related. D-Wag,
Damn it.
When I
Man.
first showed up, people were comparing me to D-Wag because we both have a
Yeah.
beanie and beard.
Yeah,
We
that-
were beefing, bro. Like,
But
and it was like two fucking, you know what I'm saying, immovable objects like going at each other, right? And I'm like
smoking
the
crack
nice
at
guy.
each other.
Yeah, bro. Like I can't be fucking moved because I'm motherfucking unstoppable. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
But shit. But y'all was
Yeah,
talking
you're
about
about as
catfish.
unstoppable as Tyrese Halliburton when he choked up the NBA Finals, mate.
Oh.
SGA, baby, SGA.
You
Oh,
got
fuck
D-Wag
yeah,
so
dude.
mad he's clipping.
I might fucking pop on, man. I don't know. It's fucking cold as a bitch outside the dumpster.
Yeah,
But,
you should, bro.
Y'all was talking about shit. I heard Klippa, man. Like for him to analyze, because you know, I'm younger than you guys, but Klippa's younger than me.
Yeah.
Man, what an educated answer! Like when he was talking about the catfishing and these kids today, because like you know, before I picked up the pipe and started smoking crack, like I worked at the Boys and Girls Club, and for like 10 years, man, you get to see like because y'all boomers, y'all be talking. I'm just fucking with y'all boomers. I love you guys, but like y'all boomers, these kids today do have new problems. Like if you get beat up back in the day, James, you would be scrapping a motherfucker, bro. You know what I mean? Back when you was growing up in like the 1940s or whatever it is, come up, put up your dukes, pal. And nobody fucking knew if you got diddy bopped or you fucking won. Like these kids today, bro, if you get fucking banged, like you see this shit on fucking Twitter, like
Snapchat
Twitter.
reels. Yeah, Twitter. Yup.
Yeah, and it's a
Yeah,
highlight
dude.
reel. Yeah.
It's a highlight reel, like, and you know what I mean? Fucking, you just got jumped on the street. Racist white dude gets, racist white guy gets what he deserves. And it's like they beat you, or like they provoked you or some shit. So you got to
Yeah.
deal with this, like, embarrassment your whole life. But, bro, Ray, you said 2016? Dog, I was getting catfished back in 2005, dude.
Well, how are you getting catfish in 2005? What the hell?
Nice. Dude, Riley, you don't know about a finer time back in life, dude. It was a little thing called MySpace. Woo! Dude, back then, you didn't know to, like, look for the signs of, like, catfishing. Like, 19-year-olds would be putting on their profile that they're, like, a doctor and shit. And you're like, wow, I'm talking to this girl, dude. She's blonde, super attractive. Like, she's got a doctorate degree and drives an Escalade and shit. And you'd be
Who
like,
would do
"Hey,
that? Just go on the
Dude.
internet and lie.
I know, right?
right?"
Just invent a whole character. Yeah.
Oh,
Bro, that's
man.
wild, bro. So she didn't have an Escalade, or did she have an Escalade? That's what I need to know.
So I'm actually telling you guys, I'm being a little, you know what I'm saying? I'm hamming it up a tiny bit for the cam. But
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
for
a real
sure.
story. This girl in real life, I ended up meeting her in real life. She actually lived by me.
Yeah.
But she had changed her name and she had made like a whole different character. And like I actually like went to like meet up or something because it was like she had like a profile picture, and she only had like a couple pictures. Because back then, Riley, like to get a high quality picture, like everybody was using like
Yeah, they didn't know
whatever
about
they
the
can.
angles yet either, did they? They didn't know about
Yeah,
all these
they know how to-
angles.
You know what I mean? They're up here, you know what I mean, hitting them with like this and
Facts,
shit,
facts.
bro.
Hiding that
The
body, hiding
dynamics.
that body. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you gotta hit them angles with your phone out. Bro, they didn't figure that out. That was like 2009, 10.
That
when
was new
started
tech
hitting.
back then. That was new tech. Yeah.
That- Yeah, all that shit was you just moving your arm, bro, up and down, up and down. Like that shit, bro. Dude, that shit fucked boys up, bro.
James was talking about it earlier. You know, when you get under the camera like that.
Facts.
Yeah, dude. I swear to God, I get to know. I had a buddy who dated this girl, and we're all like, "Oh wow, Bethany's like, you know, like, oh, she doesn't look too bad." And we met her in person. Bitch, that was a huge bitch. But yeah, I met up with this. I tried to go meet up with her, and she kept having excuses. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we all laugh at boomers now. Like, you know, it's like, no, dude, you're getting catfish, bro. Like, oh, her phone doesn't work. That's why she can't FaceTime you. Yeah. Or she doesn't have service right now. She dropped her phone.
Yeah. Bro, the
actually-
endless excuses going on and on. That's back before people knew that was a scam. We got Tank Ferret. Shout out to Tank in the chat. He says that's back
Tank.
when Nigerian princes ruled the earth, and that's facts. You know, that was back when all of this new internet scam thing came out, and like I've rolled out, and I've like tried to meet up with these girls, and they're not the same girl I saw in the picture. I just, you know, then when Photoshop and filters hit, bro, what were you gonna say, D-Wag?
Dude, bro, like for real, bro. Like, man, it's wild out here, bro. It's hard out here for a pimp. But
Yeah.
like, you've met up with a girl that wasn't the same girl. Because I ended up meeting that girl, this blonde girl that was, you know, 20 and was a doctor and shit and had to escalate. Like, I met her and found out who she was. Her name was Isley.
Yeah.
She was hood. She was a hood white chick, and she, for whatever, when I met her, like it was like 10 years later. Because she ended up like admitting, she goes, "I'm so sorry that I did that." Because I'm just like, be real, like, what's up? Like, why aren't you? This seems a little fishy or something. And it's like, she's like, "That's not me. This is my real account."
Oh,
But
wow.
Dude, yeah, she only like dated like black guys back then, or like when I saw her
She
the
date
next
you
time.
then? I swear down, you're blacker than Brandon. You are.
What?
Facts.
Really, Jake? Wow, dude, I'm gonna come on your guys.
He's an anesthesiologist. Brandon from the Rippaverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
Yeah, the other guy, Alex Miller, like worked at AT&T. These are the
Oh,
gangsters
really?
on the internet.
Yeah, you know, they developed these personas. I think what happened was GTA like really got in people's heads, and they think they're actually their character that they played on GTA. You know what I'm saying, James?
Bro.
What?
Go,
What,
James.
you
Go,
never got a
James.
blowjob from a woman in a car and then run her over. That's like a Saturday night for me.
That's what I was gonna say. James, you probably never did any of this. James was always out there in the streets doing his thing, pulling the birds. You know, did this ever happen with you, James? Did you ever experience anything like this?
What, where I took a bird home and found out she had a 9-inch cock?
No. Where did you ever do any of the online dating or anything like that? Or were you?
No, it just wasn't my thing. It's not going to be
Yeah.
compatible, you know.
Yeah.
Unlike
I didn't
Cliff,
think so.
You know, I was saying this yesterday, wasn't I? Because me and you were talking after the stream, and I said you did a really good job with the stream, and I said, look, they got this really bad misrepresentation about Clipper. They think
Yeah.
he's like some dumb fat idiot, but he's
Right.
really tuned in. He's really tech savvy. He's
Yeah.
ambitious. You know what I mean? He could be a benefit to anyone who wants to kick off in streaming and making videos and shorts.
Yeah.
And I think people just have the wrong impression about him,
Yeah.
which is like he's.
I mean, I
You know what
gave
mean?
them the impression, though.
Yeah.
There's a Justin Lavoie interview with Ye from earlier this year where he asked him, "Why do you think everybody thinks you're crazy?" And Ye goes, "Well, because of all the crazy shit I did." And like, it's like, oh yeah, perfect. Like that's what it is, you know. And
Yeah.
I did give them that impression, but I'm happy to help you guys disillude people of it.
Well, I mean, and you got to do that. You have to be interesting. You have to be a creator. If you want to, you know, I heard somebody talk about the other day. Maybe it was, I don't know if it was you or somebody else, but they said the purpose for every person is to vibrate in life as much as they can. And by vibrate, that means like make as big of an impact as they can in life. And whatever they do, maybe it's streaming, maybe it's music, maybe they're a chef, or maybe they're a mom, or whatever it is, but to make the biggest impact that they possibly can. And you know, part of that is doing like, you know, what we're doing now, which is like creating narratives, basically, which only the government used to do. Now everybody's doing it. Everybody's like their own, you know, independent contractor, narrative creator. You know what I'm saying, D-Wag? Everybody's out there doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Actually, like, so, like, when I first found out about Young Clippa, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was dancing around the, you know, the lunch tables, like I was telling you about Ray. So, like, and the people that Riley was beefing with, like, some of them were trying to tell me, like, I don't know him, right? And they're like, I'm like, all right, my boy Finatra, shout out Finn. Finn was telling me, he's like, oh, Riley's cool people, D-Wag. You know what I mean? You probably fuck with him, but like, these other people in the kind of in this space that I was in online were telling me, they were trying to like warn me.
Yeah, I was going to say that they were telling you not to meet up with Riley, weren't they?
Yeah, he's crazy.
It's a bit womanly, though, isn't it? It's a bit womanly behavior, isn't it? Come on.
He is crazy, guys.
He's crazy.
He's gonna talk about comic books at me in an accelerated pace of speech. Oh my god.
In a Prius.
And I don't know. So I don't know anything about them, like about him, but I'm like hearing what they're telling me, and I'm like, that fucking sounds like me, dude. Like what the fuck, because so I had this suspicion before meeting Riley in person. I was like, I bet he's pretty smart. I bet he's a lot smarter than he plays, because you know what I mean. Oh, he's getting up. I'll stall for time here, but yeah, you know, I'm thinking like, I'm like, man, I bet he's probably pretty smart. He probably knows what he's doing and shit. Meeting the kid in line, man, he's a really smart guy, man. Knows what he's doing. He's very
It's like what King Yeti says in chat. He says characters need development to make impacts. That's true.
Absolutely.
It's like when iDubbbz met with Sam Hyde. I'm gonna troll you, dog. Riley, characters do need development. This is kind of like a big deal. You're proof of that. Your character, Young Clippa, is now developing past that. Through different events and things that happen in life, and that's what makes it interesting, don't you think?
He's walking to us. You know what I'm saying? He's walking.
I saw him back there. I see him back there. James, you know, what do you think about that? You know,
for me, I think it's like this is going to like probably sting D-Wag a bit, because I know he doesn't like me talking about Comic Skate in a negative way. But I think Comic Skate has got a lot of boring people who are not very good streamers. You know what I mean? And it's no fault of their own. They probably didn't want to be on stream to sell their comic books. That's probably not how they imagine their life going. They probably thought they were going to work for DC, Marvel, or some kind of independent. But when you go on stream, you have to develop a character. You don't have to. You basically you have to be an elaborate version of yourself. Turn it up a bit. You know, turn it up to the max. You know what I mean? Get on stream. Do something. Be entertaining. You can't just fucking sit in the square and do nothing.
I like what you said actually there, James. Like you said, be a character. You know, have character. Be a character. Not develop an alter ego, right? Like you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be me or bro. Clippa will tell you, D-Wag is the real. Like that's who the fuck I am.
Facts.
Like in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are like, yeah, D-Wag, do you really live in a dumpster and smoke crack? And I'm like,
yes.
The fuck are you really going to ask me that, dude? Yeah, I smoke crack. Why the fuck would I lie about that? But that's how I act in person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the character, my character and my personality offline is who I am. I just amplify it. You know what I'm saying? I hook it up to the amplifier. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Bow. And, now it speaks louder.
D-Wag, are you shirtless right now? Is D-Wag naked right now?
I got that hamburger meat, baby. Got that hamburger meat for James right here. Yeah, baby. This shit needs shaved. Okay.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
About the camera.
Take you mentioned Dark Gift. Okay, let's talk about Dark Gift briefly.
I like Dark Gift. Dark Gift's a friend of mine.
Yeah, he's your friend, right? But he's boring as fuck. You know what I mean?
Always.
He's your friend, but he's kind of boring and bland. And he fears, right? He fears someone like Riley, who's charismatic. He's a bit dangerous.
Dark Gift does fear me. It's on the record.
And he can shit up.
Riley's got the dumpster.
He's the guy who mixes it, doesn't he? He mixes it up. He's a bit of a pot stirrer. He's a bit of a shit stirrer. He mixes it up. And Dark Gift doesn't like that. Dark Gift likes everything in a box, samey, nice and neat. He sits there, doesn't he? Puffing on his cigarette like a puff, like this. He's like this. And he's like, he's very porn star-esque, you know what I mean? Like he's producing some seedy 70s porno. And he's
Yeah.
like
All right.
fucking.
We can fix
Go ahead,
him. You know, we could fix Darkrift. All we have to do it like that Matt. I'm gonna rate Matt Barr video I made was in defense of like Vito, and I probably wouldn't like care that much anymore. So it's like we can like work backwards. You know, we can be like, oh, the CG slums. You guys could stop pretending to hate me and Katie, and even though we're like, you know, if you need to hate somebody new to CG, go after Tree Tooth Tony.
Yeah, Tree Tooth
Hit up
Tony.
Bog Tony and make fun of him. If you need a
boy.
new CG victim, okay.
Yeah.
But the rest of us, we're here to stay, and like, look, okay, Darkrift. Even I'm a better drawer than you, so just like calm down a little bit.
We got Mersh in the chat. He says, "Get him, James." And then Mersh also says that Matt Barr stuff was some of the funniest shit he's ever seen.
Tony's still a thing. Is he still a thing, Snaggletooth Tony? I thought he's like the opposite of Bullet Tooth Tony, and he's Snaggletooth Tony. It's
Yeah.
like, but like, all I remember from that guy, right? He was a bit sleazy, didn't he? He fancied your ex, and he also fancied who was that skinny bird that she used to knock around with the glasses?
Yeah, our friend
She had a
Dalish.
pal, didn't he? The skinny
My
bird.
friend
yeah.
Dalish, she's great.
Yeah.
She's a bit of a salt. I kind of like it. She's a bit of a salt. But, like, it's like, yeah, he always tried to snake in with the birds, didn't he? He always had that, like, he's got that bit of sleaze about him, isn't he?
A lot of people think that like that's how you sell comic books, but I mean maybe you'll get more eyes on something that has a chick attached to it, but the quality still has to be there, and the chick has to be like helping you build your like a booth babe is hired to stand in your costume at an old convention and sell your
Facts.
comics to your IP, right? But like just having
That's
a girl
Jackie's
on who
wife,
who
right?
has
Wasn't
her
that
own
what-
stuff.
Wife was.
What was that?
Billy Tucci's wife. She was like that, wasn't she? She was like a bit of a booth babe, wasn't she?
Yeah, and I'm sure
Oh.
she helped, but she probably helped Billy sell comics, right? Like dressed as female characters. That all makes sense. When on the internet, though, when you have a panel show and you're inviting people on who have their own things to promote, you're all working together towards the collective goal of making this show entertaining. But Dalish wasn't there to sell Frog Tony's merch. Like it's a different thing. It's another thing that you maybe need a different person for. And that's how I feel about every like I mean even with cheesecake covers or whatever, if your comic sucks and your only shortcut is putting boobs on the cover to sell it, like then that's bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's completely agree.
That
Go
shit
on.
I've seen. I've been around for a grip set. You know what I mean? That shit's not gonna sell eventually. You know what I mean? Like, you know, motherfuckers will buy it, and you know, even if like once they open it up and they're like, you know what I mean? That's just a cover. I mean, I just paid $20 or $25 for a cover. So like what Clip was saying is, man, you got to have some substance. You got to have that real shit. You know what I mean?
Hey,
bro,
talking about
'cause then you're
catfishing,
done.
man. Comic book
Yeah.
catfishing's a bad one, dude. There's a lot of that out there, bro.
Oh, facts, bro. I was just giggling because we're having pillow talk with D-Wag over here. He's in bed, but no, yeah, comic book catfishing, facts, bro. I can't tell you. I mean, like Isom. I go back to Isom, right? That was like the biggest one. I was all hype. I got on board. Independent comic book. I paid $70. I got the thing. I looked at it. I was like, oh shit, I got had, bro. You know, and then Riley, we were talking about how the character needs to develop and change over time or else they get boring. But what about the grudges? Don't grudges need to change? Like if you get a new season of like Better Call Saul or something like that, you know, don't you have to have the openness to say, you know, I like this character now or I used to hate him last season instead of like saying I hate them forever? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah, no, of course. I mean, in real life you see that, like obviously, you know, people have. If you're co-parenting, you're getting along with somebody who obviously you did not get along with to such an extent, right? So it's like you have to be able to overcome these social grudges that you have with people, and especially online where they're not real, where there's no consequence to repairing a brick. Like, you know, I'm not fighting with Ethan Ralph currently. I have been. I will again. This is an infinity thing. I mean, I get how reality works.
Yeah, it's a plot. It's a plot
I'm not currently
point.
mad at him.
Yeah, it's a plot point.
It's a plot point.
Yeah, and you have to be
Yeah.
able to live and breathe. That's kind of like what James was saying earlier when he was saying, you know, he doesn't like to be a part of groups. Weren't you saying this, James? Because they have special rules that you can't break, or if somebody says you have to like somebody.
This is where me and D-Wag butt heads, I think. Jokingly but seriously, sometimes jokingly but seriously. You know, he's like the Praetorian Guard for Ethan Van Sciver. I make a lot of jokes about Ethan. I was like, Ray, you should do a little sketch of a milk carton. Where's Rainbow the Broom? It's been 6 years to do 44 pages. I think that's funny. I think that's a fair criticism. You know, I think that's a fair criticism of the man. It doesn't mean I don't like him. I don't know him. I don't give a shit about him one way or the other. But it's like Comicsgate is very top down. It's Ethan's the boss, John Maylin's the underboss, and Shane Davies is the consigliere. And what they say goes. It's very top down. And like, if they try to put it on me, they're gonna fucking get it with both barrels. Not because I don't like them, it's because I don't like being told what the fuck to do. I'm not part of your group. I don't play by your rules. I feel the same about the Rippaverse. When D-Wag said there was a thing called Anti-Comicsgate, I said they're wankers as well. I don't like the Dabbleverse. The only person I like from the Dabbleverse is Scarlett Hampton because she's fit and a porn star. That's the only reason.
So true.
It's like
that's the difference, though. James, you're not like an anti-comics skater. You're not going to spend all of your the people that are like getting made fun of by CG top down are people who keep walking up to Ethan and like slapping him in the knee and then getting like kicked away by an adult. Like
and it doesn't work.
And then Ethan gets
work.
to the position where like, you know, if someone like Smiller, who's literally only as tall as like say like your knee, he keeps coming up and like trying to ankle bite you, and you kick him enough times, you might just preemptively just start being like, oh, what's this guy doing? You like drag him over here and kick him in front of everybody.
Yeah.
For coins. And I think that's like a valid way to go about things, honestly.
No,
I think
agree.
everybody who has problems with Comicsgate are like picking a fight that they can't win, and they're obstinate about their ability to win it, and then they complain about it. You're just not participating in it either way, so...
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah,
See,
it's
like,
like
so
the war campaigners, they're a bunch of idiots as well. I see them with their WC, which means fucking toilet, so I don't know what that's all about.
No,
it's
water
like
closet, for real.
Yeah,
That's
it's like they got the war
simple.
campaign thing, and they're like, "Hail, brother, we're the Praetorian Guard." One of them's really fat. He looks like 600 pounds. He's got a 600-pound wife, and he's going around slagging everyone off. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, mate. It's like, if you don't like something, just go off and do your own thing. You're not going to bring Ethan down because Ethan is a talented artist. He will always get work. He's self-employed. As long as his hands stay in good shape, he's going to be doing that shit till the day he dies. Just leave him alone. It's not my thing. I don't read comic books, but I haven't got a problem with people that do.
I actually fuck with
I love it.
James. I actually fuck with what you were saying earlier. What you said, you thought we might disagree. I think, to be honest, I'm not going to be bounded by any type of rules. Okay, see, like, here's the thing that you need. It starts with a C, and that thing is clout. If you have a clout train and hype and shit like that, if you got that clout, you know what I mean? People will gravitate. You can say whatever you want. You can influence people. The thing is I think in comics, a lot of creators didn't, the older guys didn't sign up when they started doing comics to be selling online. They don't understand the world. They don't know who they're talking to. Ethan, what makes Ethan amazing is not the fact, dude, one, he's way more generous than people like even give him credit for that like him. Facts. He has done so much cool shit for people behind the scenes. And there's a lot of people that wouldn't have raised any money if it wasn't for Ethan. So Ethan was juggling, okay, I have all these new responsibilities, and he doesn't know how to, he's just learning how to do this. But yeah, like when I was doing the crack pack shit, I'm gonna jump topic. Sorry, you know what I'm saying? I'm segmented with my shit. But when I was doing the crack pack shit, I was like, all right, dude, I'm gonna fucking go out there, put myself at like a bunch of, because my shit was only positive. I didn't fucking talk shit about any fucking body. So I had to be I knew I had to be entertaining while being positive. That's a fucking chore, dog. It's a fucking chore. It's so hard. But I could do it because I'm the fucking man. But yeah, like the crack pack, pow, every day. You know what I'm saying? What's up with it? You saw my man Curry in the chat. Saw Curry out. He was saying throwing bow up. Like people still do that years later. But you have to have momentum. If you have, I saw James James is still there. Okay. Yeah, if you have enough clout and stuff, you can influence people and they'll ride along, because it's for the people in the chat. Yeah. That's who we're doing this for.
Yeah, everybody has to remember that. You're trying to win the audience. You're trying to deliver to the audience. And, when you selling online and being a streamer and all that stuff, that's a really steep learning curve. That's quite a different animal than what... What'd you say, Jim?
It's something you didn't expect to do, and it's something you don't really want to do. There's plenty of other things you could be doing in your life, like living your life, being with your wife, being with your girlfriend, being with your kids. And then every night there's an obligation at 6 o'clock till 10 o'clock at night you got to go on and fucking stream. It's a pain in the arse. No one wants to be doing it. There's plenty of things they'd rather be doing, I'm sure of it. But then, like Clipper says, there's people that are fucking addicted to this online shit. You know what I mean? It's worse than any drug you could possibly imagine. Once you get a bit of that, like D-Wag was saying, once you get a bit of that clout, you want a bit more of it, don't you? It's fucking...
Well, and it seems very susceptible to, like, people that aren't masculine. They seem like they fall in love with it. If they really get... I was going to say feminine, but it's not even feminine. It's just people who aren't masculine, whether they be
an
women.
absence of masculinity. Like that's, right. Royce to 5'9" said, masculinity isn't what's toxic. The absence of it is at one point. I really like that line.
No, I agree with that. Masculinity, we believe in, consequences. You don't destroy relationships, you rebuild them, all of that kind of thing. Whereas femininity, as soon as you disagree, or the lack of masculinity, as soon as you disagree with anybody in the structure, they kick you out. So then you're banished. You have no chance. You have to go on, you start your own journey somewhere else, and that's kind of sad.
Yeah, D-Wag's telling me I'm getting kicked out. He's always DMing me. He's going, "You're getting kicked out soon, son. Your time's up. Your days are up. You're getting kicked out." And I'm like, "Yeah." I said to him, I go, "Yeah, just don't put me on one of those drawing streams because I'll fall asleep or something." You know what I'm saying? But like,
yeah, facts. I keep giggling because D-Wag's in bed. He probably naked under.
It is very funny.
I'm wearing. Hey, shout out Miami John. I got the Miami Heat shorts on. Even though he said he don't like them shits, these are authentic too. They got like a fucking like.
You're both LeBron fans, aren't you? You're both big LeBron fans, aren't you? You love the
I used to like LeBron, but yeah, fuck all that shit. But yeah, man, yeah, I'm in the authentic fucking NBA shorts, bro. They're like so comfy.
Well, I don't want to see. I don't want to see.
No, yeah. I need to shave. I got that manscaper thing. But yeah, dude, the one thing about online culture, see, like I grew up, I was molded. You were molded by it. I was born in it, or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, the reason why shit's gotten out of pocket right now is because there is no concept. People feel like why masculinity is absent from these spaces is that there is no consequences, usually, almost always, for your actions. So you just get out of here, get out of pocket. Oh, Clipper says one thing I don't like, or James says one thing I don't like. Fuck him. He's a fucking bitch. I don't like him. Fuck you. Fuck you. And now, like, you've built this big giant war.
And none of you would say that shit to my face.
Yeah.
None of you ever.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, I agree. I feel like one of the big things is to be a streamer, you have to first fill up your cup of experience so you have something to share.
Yes.
Why would I come on stream empty of my experiences of real life and then just basically parasite off everybody? I'm not really sharing anything.
Yeah, that's why while it sucks that not all of these comic book artists are great streamers, it's because they spent like 40 years drawing, which makes them good at making drawings. Mm-hmm. That's like a different thing. It's going to take them 20 years to be good at streaming. Ethan started doing YouTube like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And you can see that.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago, he started doing YouTube. Some of these guys started doing YouTube like 4 years ago, like 2 years ago. You can see that too.
Yeah. You really can. And that's a big deal because, that's part of the bargain. I never considered, when I set out to be an artist, I never considered that I'd also have to do the marketing. What were you going to say, James?
Well, I remember there was an auction stream once when I used to watch Comicsgate quite a bit. And Andy Smith was on there. Now, I think Andy Smith's a pretty good artist, but he isn't exactly the most charismatic man or the most engaging man in the world, is he? He's quite quiet. He's quite reserved. And they were doing, like you went on, they went on an art auction, right? And for some reason, that translates in he can't sell his art at a high price, even though his art is very good. And then Riley's ex, Mint, rocked up, and she was selling it triple the price that he was selling it. And I always kind of felt bad for him for that, because he spent a lifetime doing art. And because Mint had a bigger personality, and because all the fans really liked her, you know what I mean? And everyone in the chat was falling all over her. It was like she was selling art at triple the price. And I always felt bad for him because it seemed to me his great art couldn't overcome his lack of personality.
Yeah, narrative's important, man.
Yeah.
Like, you got to think, I had positioned Mint to have these beefs with, like, Matt Barr, and this made her, like, a crowd favorite. Like, I could have argued with him on on CG Live or whatever it was, but instead it's like funnier for her to go do it. So she goes and argues with Matt Barr, and then everybody connects her to like the narrative thread. It's like, oh, I want to support that narrative.
Yeah.
So I mean, it didn't have anything to do with the art, but it also didn't have anything to do with her being like a girl or being popular or any of that. It was just Matt. It was marketing off of Matt Barr. We're gonna see this with the auction that we do for Tree Tooth Tony art. We're gonna make a couple bucks selling Frog Tony stuff, and I'm gonna even enter this auction. And it's not my piece is gonna sell for like $20, and not because it's worth that, but because somebody doesn't like Frog Tony, $20 worth.
Yeah.
Kind of the
I want to
trade-off.
tap on this. I want to tap in on this too, because I kind of James. So like I haven't even drawn. I think I can draw something if I like put, you know what I mean, whatever, whoop-de-woo. But that's not the point. I hadn't even drawn anything, and my comic shows were getting 40, 50, 60 concurrent viewers.
Right.
And I because I felt bad because I'm like, you know, like I understand that these here's what's happening is a lot of these guys they started tapering off, but they weren't understanding that they were selling the books. Their books were selling based on somebody else that's charismatic's platform and the movements wave and things like that.
The anti-CG
So, like,
guys, yeah. They
yeah,
don't get that.
or yeah, well, and even like I'm even like the creators, they thinking that like they're not understanding that like a lot of the books are being sold online is based off your personality or people's likeliness or like how much they like you, how much people like you sells you a lot of your product. Now it's going to be really, if you have a shitty product, it's going to be really hard to sell that. Even if you have a great personality. Go ahead, Cliff.
Not just how much people like you, but or how much they don't like someone else. Nobody bought the Woke Tears mugs merch because they like the Woke Tears mug. They just hate woke people. Same with like, you know, if you buy like a fucking anti-conservative merchandising, or if you buy into, that's why the Rippaverse sold largely. There were people like Ray who were curious in it. There were people like Vito who were like waiting for it to fall. And then there were everyone else who was like, I'm supporting or unsupporting a political like momentum.
Position,
you know? Like, yeah. Like, we don't want SJW comic books to be the only ones making money, so we're all going to throw money behind this one thing that we all think could be a good comic book. Yeah. So, I mean, like, but that's like marketing against the woke. It wasn't because everybody liked Eric July. Nobody even knew who he was. Gabe Altieb had the connect to get on Fox News through like a different thing he had done. Like, none of it had anything to do with Eric as a personality, and nobody realized that. For a while, people thought he was like an it guy or like a famous person or something. He's not. It was the idea of the movement of conservatism.
He had that buzz.
Yeah.
He had. Go on, James. You got it.
No, did you just remember when everyone online every 5 minutes was saying we will win?
Yeah.
It's like that's it, wasn't it? Everyone got swept up in we will win. I was like, well,
that's from Outlander. It's from a romance show. It's like, and Eric's wife must have gotten it from Outlander. Because I had to watch some Outlander, and that "we will win" is like the thing they say all the time. That's their "winter's coming." I don't know. I think that's where it's from.
No, it's facts. It's a big deal like that, and I think like a lot of comic book or even artists. I'm not even saying comic book artists because this goes beyond comic book artists. It goes to all artists who've migrated online, like me. Like I used to be a gallery artist. Now I'm trying to come online to find an audience, to find people to sell to, and then you don't know that you have to do this other job of marketing on top of it. So then now I have to learn about Streamlabs. I mean not Streamlabs, but OBS. I have to learn about the camera. And it's a lot of stuff. And so I can understand why it takes a while for a book to come out, because you have to do all these other things too. If you just work on a book, you get it ready to go, and then you put it out and you don't do any of the marketing, what happens? Oh, maybe 20 people buy it, and then you're like, you're crushed. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like, damn, I didn't get a good showing on that. You know what I'm saying, James?
Yeah, I can understand. It's like, we just look at it. If we're someone in the audience, we just look at it. It's like, I paid for my book. Where's my book?
Yeah, where's the fuck is my book? Right. Yeah.
You said it was going to be in this time span. It's gone over this time span by weeks, months, years. You've taken my money. You've stolen my money. But it's not like that, is it? You're kind of like buying something that may never come to existence or fruition for whatever reason. You're kind of like, you're giving someone a shot, really, aren't you? You're not going down the store and buying it. And I understand that. And, from more coming on and talking to you, I understand that there's more to it. Like Clipper says, you've got to build You know, you've got to build personalities. Like D-Wag says, you've got to find angles. You know, you've got to build your channel. You can't just like switch on and off. Like, say you're doing shorts. Like Michael Bancroft, his channel blew up before it got nuked because he was doing shorts, wasn't he? He was doing shorts every day, and he built himself an audience through that. He wasn't necessarily streaming. He was getting an audience through shorts and marketing through that. So there's plenty of ways that you can skin a cat. I understand that. But I think, you know, some people can handle the frustration of it. It depends what type of mentality they've got in online. A lot of people on the online, they've got mental health issues, haven't they? And you know, these people are very, very hard to deal with, aren't they? And talk to them reasonably and rationally when they have that kind of like weird parasocial relationship with you, where they think they can just take and take.
Yeah, and you make a really good point, Clippa. This reminds me of the Vito. You know, he didn't put out his book because he was worried about the criticism. What are your thoughts on that, Riley?
Well, yeah, that's definitely why he didn't put the book out. He's afraid of backlash and that it won't, you know, stand up to his. But I was gonna say, because I mean that's all I have to say about that. To your point earlier, Ray, about how this is like it's like another job, it's a second job, and Ethan tries to talk about it all the time. I want to. I saw a tweet the other day, and I went and I found it real quick by Lil Tay, rapper turned youngest OnlyFans girl or whatever.
Oh yeah.
She made this really long, kind of whiny and annoying tweet, but in it was this one paragraph that I think explains why people like Kai Cenat who can't read will cry about how hard of a job it is to stream. She says, while complaining about how like OnlyFans girls get bullied for no reason, she also says, we conceptualize content, and this applies to you guys, streamers. We conceptualize the content, plan shoots, plan streams, manage lighting, editing, scheduling, and consistency across multiple platforms to stay visible in algorithms that actively punish inactivity. Marketing nonstop while navigating constantly shifting platform rules that erase income overnight through shadow bans, reports, or policy changes. Managing subscriptions, pricing, custom requests, retentions, upsells, daily engagement, and audience psychology in an oversaturated market where attention is fleeting and competition is ruthless. This is, and I can tell you from my experience, it's hard to sell the easiest thing that there is to sell online. So it's not easier to sell the rest of this stuff.
Yeah.
No one has more appeal.
No, I agree. D-Wag, your thoughts on that?
Oh, I mean, even like on Clip, that's a really like deep conversation there. But like, yeah, just. No, like staying up with the algorithms and shit like that.
You have to do all of that.
Like, yeah,
you have to do all 30 things every day or else.
Yeah, and that's so hard for the fucking audience. Honestly, you don't ever try to like argue that with the audience. Like, I have to do all these things, right? Because they're like, boo, fucking.
They have real jobs.
I have exactly. Thank you. They have real jobs.
But if you're doing this right. Yeah. If you're doing this right, it is a real job with a daily beautification list. You have to, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean on the internet too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, facts. No, I completely. D-Wag, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I just was saying, the time to lean, time to clean, like these people aren't gonna have any sympathy for you if you don't fucking put up and show out. You know what I'm saying? And you're sitting there like, well, the algorithm, it's the algorithm. No, it's you. You got to fucking find, this is the profession you want to do. You know what I mean? Spartans, what is our profession?
Facts.
Stream us.
Well, you have to identify a demographic. You don't get to just have people be your customers. Like the algorithm is this weird pretense that you can make stuff, go outside and just be like, someone's coming, right? Like no lemonade stand, no signs down the block to get them to turn on your street. No, you're not preparing for your yard sale. You're just expecting someone to drive by and give you money because you put stuff outside in your yard. Like, it's totally fucking ridiculous.
Well, that's 100% right.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts, dude.
James, you were talking about this, about how many, videos you'll be grinding out, and then you'll get no eyeballs on them, and you're like, what the hell's going on, right?
Yeah, it's like you're trying to march up a hill and then you're fucking just marching straight back down again. But like, I've got that personality, right, where I've lived my life. I've got my money, I'm pretty settled. You know what I mean? This is not the be all and end all for me. If it doesn't go well, I can wipe my mouth and move on and say I gave it a crack. I'm more like a support network for you. I said, look, I'll come on your stream. No one's. I think John's asked me to do when he gets up and running, go on his stream. And I think Professor Grass mentioned it once. If it doesn't happen, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But I do like doing the videos, and sometimes I get 1,000 or 1,500, and then another day I'll do a video and it'll literally get 2 or 3 people. It's very random. I don't know why that is. I think I'm pretty charismatic. I think I say some funny stuff. I think I say some controversial stuff. I think I'm, but obviously I'm not hitting the right notes. And some people would get really beaten up about that, but I don't. I just come on, I get back on the horse, I have a laugh, and if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere, and if it doesn't, well, it wasn't meant to be, was it? Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, like Ray, I was talking to you last night about something similar, James. So, like, James, one of the things I would do is, like, I would do a video where, like, I would do something funny, like with donuts, whatever. And people are like,
I will kick the shit out of this son of a bitch.
What happened? I couldn't hear you.
I was just making a joke, don't worry.
Oh, okay. People see my donut videos. I started doing these donut videos because
are you eating cookies in bed right now?
Yeah, dude, I got the fucking whole carton right here, dude, like on my chest. Open it up, you know what I mean? Like, dude, they're M&M cookies. Look, you guys should see.
Bro, you can't get crumbs in bed, bro. You're driving me crazy, dog.
I got a Ryobi vacuum and shit. Like, I got the shit. Like, we'll get it out. We'll get the crumbs out. I spike them onto the floor. I got hardwood floor.
You got a fat girl. You got a fat girl coming over later. She's gonna suck them all up.
Oh yeah, dude. I got them fucking. You know what I'm saying, the fucking 300-pounders coming over, bro. But so James, one thing when it comes to like the algo, like people saw my donut videos started getting like 5,000-10,000 views. It was because I kept them short and sweet, and the algorithm detects, like, if people are just scrolling and they don't know who the fuck you are, they don't care about you. They're just gonna fuck. It don't matter how good your speech is. Like Clipper was saying, and I'm sitting there like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing the jerk off. You know, I'm like pumping my fist. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yes. Just because you put something online doesn't mean people are gonna come visit it. Like, people are too secretive sometimes with their shit. I just started doing this because I wanted to see. I started doing these like short little like 10 to 20 second like stupid lines I think of, like diabetes will not defeat us. That's why my mom said eat donuts every fucking day. And I'd show 6 donuts. People are liking the video, not because of what I said. It's just because they like donuts.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you got to find what resonates with people, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And you gotta capture people. You know what I mean? Like, that's why they do this like trick, like on shorts, where like it pops into your face because like, oh, and it grabs your attention, and then you start talking about something. Is what I learned. Clipper probably knows more about that, but he's AFK right now. So James, or Ray, whatever.
Yeah, facts. No, like me and James were just talking about that the other day about how not only that you have to find what resonates with people, but you have to also understand what the competition is doing and try to stand out apart from them. Isn't that's what you got to do, right, James? You got to be your own man, but also be unique. What? Hold on real quick. I gotta fix the audio real quick, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, stretch those legs out, James. Yeah, stretch those.
You guys, it's not me.
I think it might be James a little bit.
I think it's James. I think it's James's audio is coming because he's not wearing headphones.
All right, I think we're back.
Yeah.
All right, we're good. Yeah, I think his audio's coming through off his tablet that he's listening to. But we'll have to get that motherfucker some headphones or whatever. But no, D-Like, you got to do that. You got to be different, and it's very difficult because you have to figure out how to be different. You have to be creative, and like I was talking to you, I think, and I said you have to understand what your flavor is. Like if you're a burger man, you make burgers. If they ain't gonna like it, then fuck them. They gotta. You're just gonna make burgers. You're not gonna switch and become a taco guy. Just one day and then maybe a ravioli guy the next day. You gotta stay with your flavor.
Is today's topic of the stream is like comic book related shit? Is that or like art? Technical issues?
No, we were just talking about tech problems, and I was gonna kind of share that idea or that little experience I had on Ethan's stream where I had tech problems, and he was saying there was an echo in my microphone, and I've never had an echo. And I I panicked, and I went and I unplugged my microphone, and I plugged it back in. I was like, what the hell's going on? And then I switched it. I realized I never used StreamYards before, and so it had picked up my wrong microphone off, not my real microphone. And then I fixed that, but it was still echoing. Then I realized, I left the laptop on in the other room, and it was playing the stream, and that was what was echoing in the microphone, and I couldn't hear it because I had the headphones on. And I was just I shot myself in the foot. I was like, damn it, what the hell? So that we were just talking tech issues today, but we talk about whatever. You know what I'm saying? We talk about men in bed eating cookies, bro.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I was wanting to keep it on topic, but I was gonna bring it to the comic book thing. Fuck, now I damn near forgot. No, I forgot. My bad, dude. But I fucking forgot what I was going to say. I had a good point. It was about it was related to a lot of the comic book guys. It was Riley. Here's what it was. It was what your thing was because I was talking about. I brought up how I was doing the shorts with donuts and shit like that, and people are just liking them because they're short, they're quick, they're 10, 15-second videos where I say the diabetes won't defeat us, or my mom said eat sugar until your foot falls off.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's because it's donuts. And
yes.
They're liking it because it's donuts, and people would recommend
highly
to
shareable, low context content. That way they don't have to be a fan of you. No one else does to watch it. Nobody has to invest in this piece that you're giving them. It's why the food review shorts we would do so well. Kyle Cartman. Who's buzzing? Is that me?
That's James.
I think that's James a little bit. I think James might be buzzing.
Okay. No worries. As long as it's not me. But anyway, we made we did the Cartman cereal bomb thing from the South Park fat obesity special or whatever, where he puts a bunch of KFC and cereal together, and it's a real disgusting mess. And she ate one bite of it and threw it in the dumpster. It would have been viral if she ate the whole thing, I said. But
yeah.
So it's that got 20,000 views or whatever, 10,000 views or something across platforms because it's it was very low. You like Cartman already, you like South Park, and then you don't have to know who this person is to think that bit was funny.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that you have to make if you want to just get attention on me. I mean, look, with my pull-up at Eric's warehouse, right? You could get the same 300,000 views if you went to the White House right now in some silly costume and you waited for someone to walk out and you Alex Stein to them, you'd get 200,000 views the same way. It's just
that's how
content.
Yeah, that's how Alex Stein started, right? He started with just a being combative in a meeting, and everybody loved it. He was basically the class clown. And so, to get your first foothold, you have to make a very lowbrow, wide platform, mass media, kind of Kardashian-esque type of content, and then you can kind of refine it as you grow and develop. But that's what you have to do.
Mr. Beast got big too. Was this low context content? I'm gonna count to 100,007 while my eyes are blinded and I'm in a pool. You can watch that without knowing who he was. Me and my friends throughout high school watched Mr. Beast videos all the time because they were back then he was still burying himself alive for 11 days, shit like that. That we were I'll watch this asshole bury himself alive video.
Yeah,
it wasn't about the cult of personality at all.
Well, and it was new, right? I remember when Survivor first came on the scene, the TV show. Everybody watched it. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, they're going to win $1 million!" So
novelty is a big part of it.
Yeah, but now if they did that, nobody would care, right? And now if Mr. Beast or somebody came and said, "I'm going to bury myself," so you got to keep pushing that envelope. You got to keep changing it, and you got to keep. It has to be a new wrinkle, but it still has to connect with the things that people find interesting, which people find always the same stuff interesting. Everybody wants to fuck, everybody's hungry, everybody's thirsty, everybody wants to be popular. Those kind of things never change, but how you interact with them has to change.
Yeah,
that was one thing I was bringing it back to the comic shit or whatever. I thought that was what we were talking about today, but a lot of these guys, man, I don't know, the audience probably knows the bigger guys and the guys that are on the CG King shows and things like that. But there's a lot of smaller guys, and some of the king, the guys are older and stuff like that. They don't know any better. I see them doing content and their shit's getting 40 views. And they've been doing this shit for years, and I feel really bad, because it's kind of who am I to tell them hey man, you might want to switch it up and try to do something a little different. But it's like, dude, you're like these guys. But see, like their products in the CG market are still selling because of other people's work. Whereas, like, if we could get the message out, see, like when people would come on my show or like be in my audience, I would like make a joke about the thing, like wink, wink, like, hey, you guys aren't being entertaining. You're over there streaming to one person, dude, for fucking hours, multiple streams. I see a lot of these CG guys, and they'll stream for hours and hours and hours per day, multiple times a week. All I did to get my little thing was I would sit in the chat of Ethan's or somebody's. When I first started, I had PTSD and shit, but it's gone now or going away. Anyways, I was like, I got to do something. So like, I would sit in the chat and I'd wait till somebody said something relatable to me, and I'd be like, or they said something relatable, and I would just at them and say something and built a relationship.
Right.
And slowly over time, like after whatever, I started out streaming to 40 people, no help from anybody. My first stream, 40 concurrent viewers or 30 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it had nothing to do. It was because people knew who I was. They knew what they were looking for. They're like, oh, I know this guy. I'm going to come watch him. But these other people, they'll just put shit out like Clipper was saying. Like they put shit out on their lawn. They don't put signs up or anything. And you have nowhere to look.
Well, you know, that's the thing too, is like if you keep putting the same thing out and you're not getting any kind of feedback or reaction, you have to keep changing until you catch a foothold. You have to keep adjusting your whatever you're talking about until it does break through. Tanks in the chat says what D-Wag and Clipper are doing is a smart move. Find where the content style isn't oversaturated. Blue ocean marketing. So facts on that. James, you're back. You have to keep looking for a new place. You know, it's like you talked about this, James. You said you reinvented yourself. You never wanted to be a streamer. Now you're giving it a go. Isn't that what it's all about? You have to keep trying, keep changing until you find something that works.
Yeah, I was really enjoying myself until D-Wag started talking. He talks about himself a lot, doesn't he? Have you noticed that? He never talks about like general topics or general issues. He just talks about himself, and he's got kind of like an inflated ego. And if he looked like me, he should have an inflated ego, but he looks like him, so he shouldn't have an inflated ego. But I don't know. Like, I'm a geezer that will give anything a crack. You know, to me, I wish you could, like, all the world's problems. I'm the type of guy. I wish you could just punch them in the face. I'm a very meat and potatoes guy, but I don't get too up or down. I'm very realistic. I think it's very hard for a lot of people to get to a certain level. You know what I mean? The tippy top level. You know what I mean? If I come out of this slightly above water, you know, maybe a bit better, I think I've done quite a good thing. You know what I mean? It would have been all right. You know what I mean? You know, made a few friends, had a few laughs, made a bit of cash. Be realistic, don't be unrealistic. Don't have unrealistic expectations, but also have a bit of ambition. I'm kind of like a mix of that, you know what I mean? And this is very hard for me because I'm an extremely arrogant person. I'm very arrogant. I'm very outgoing. So it's very hard for me to kind of have this rational attitude because, of course, I want to be as big as it gets.
Facts.
And, you know, I'm shooting for that. But I understand, you know, it's hard.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work. What you say, D-Wag?
I don't think everybody's meant to be the biggest thing or whatever, and they're not going to be. Like, to bring it back to myself, like I saw like a lot of people like in like the CG space, just for example, they would be giving people advice, and it's always like, so you have to do this thing that I heard on stream that somebody else said to do, and like I would give people like in the back rooms like examples like that. Like I'm in your guys' space doing better than you guys, and I don't even have a book. I haven't even drawn anything. Don't even have a piece of art. Like, and I was like, I was trying to give them an example. Like, so it would be like if I told them what you got to do. Here's what you got to. So here's what you got to do. Right? Start smoking crack and live in a dumpster. Like, it's just whatever, you know, you got to find out what works for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick your lanes and shit. You know what I mean? I think James got a really fucking dynamic fucking personality. If, you know, he gets into on these general topics and starts fucking really banging them out, you got to make the point quick what you're talking about, and it'll draw the people that like that shit into you and stuff. But yeah, I think instead of people trying to be the top dog, right? We talked about this, the hotel. Like, I'd rather be like on your team and help support you. Like, some people are support characters. Like Riley might know what I'm talking about. or whatever. Like,
Facts. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Not everybody's meant to be the fucking star. Not everybody's going to be Michael Jordan. Sometimes, and that would actually see, like, a lot of people don't realize if I go out there and I help somebody else propel them, like, it's good for you too.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, and I think a lot of people are too focused maybe on the success aspect of it, and not on the relationship.
On the sex. I am always focused on the sex.
I knew that was going to happen, but on the success aspect, and not as much on the relationship aspect. And you really have to focus on the relationship aspect and like build good relationships. Like got a good relationship with James, got a good relationship with Riley, got a good relationship with D-Wag, and you want to see all these guys succeed. I want to see James succeed. I want to see Riley. I want to see D-Wag succeed, and that creates this kind of energy that people are drawn to because people want to be a part of what's popping. Everybody wants to be in the group that's having a good time, that's looking out for each other, that's not like discarding people, that's not going to leave a man behind, and that's really important. What are your thoughts on that, Riley?
I agree.
Yeah, facts. You get, and it makes it so much more fun. And think for a second, if you do get successful, now you got your boys with you, bro. It's kind of like that entourage thing all over again,
Yeah,
well, and everyone behind. The moment I get successful, I'm cutting you all adrift.
Oh, hell yeah. You might.
I'm cutting you all adrift. I tell you, I'm marrying a porn star. I'm cutting you all adrift. It's going to be all over.
I'm going to pull up with $40,
Sterling
James.
James art, bro. That's going to be fucking wow. It's going to be hard to get your girl, bro. But see, like, dude, Ray's got it right, man. He fucking got his time to shine in the spot that he wants to be. And what did he do, bro? He sprinkled some of that little clout. You know what I'm saying? He sprinkled some of that merch clout.
Yeah, facts.
I noticed that, dude. Good guy, this guy.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. And what that does is it makes other people want to help you more because they're like, oh, okay, this motherfucker's for real. If I give him a little bit of my energy, it's not going to go unnoticed. It's going to be appreciated. We've all been on those dates, right, where you're going out with a girl and you don't want her to pay for it, but you want her to at least offer or acknowledge or be thankful. That's all you're looking for, right? I'll get my wallet out. You're like, no, baby, I got it. Don't worry about it. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. It's when you get taken for granted, you start getting a grudge, and you're like, man, this bitch right here, I tell you what, I took you out to Long John Silver's, and you don't even acknowledge it, and so you get mad about that. That's what you want.
My advice is don't take a fat girl to a restaurant.
Bro, I ain't taking a bitch to Red Lobster.
Great advice.
I even like seafood, dude, and like you don't get no pussy, bro. I mean, at least the biscuits are fire. Fuck it, you know what I mean? But hey, guys, Ethan Van Sciver just went live, so I'm out, guys. No,
all right, peace.
I'm just playing.
I thought he was
That's
for real.
great. I believed that.
I did too. I was all in on that one. That's hilarious. We got Mersh in the chat. Mersh says, my girlfriend offers to pay the bill all the time. I don't let her, but she tries. That's what you want in a relationship, though. It's that,
there you go, yeah.
That mutual appreciation, Of course I don't want the girl paying for the fucking bill, bro. It's my job. I'm the dude. I'm here to fucking put it down, But I want that appreciation, that adoration. I love that adoration in my women. But yeah, for real. All right. Let's see. We got just jumping down in the chat. We got Pat. She's cracking up. Shout out to you, Pat. Love to see it. We got the Sulky Roulette. I'm trying to learn how to say that
Curry
name.
Curry. Call him Curry.
Curry. All right, Curry. What's up, dog? Good to see you, man. Prax and Pat in the chat saying shout out. We got Tank Ferret out there. He's out there doing his thing. So that's what you got to do. If there's a lot of jobs, you venture into deeper water, and I would say don't get afraid to go underwater, come back up, swim deeper. You got to take on other responsibilities. You got to try new things, and just don't give up. Look for help.
Try to advise to the kids there. Don't afraid to get your dick wet, kids.
Yeah, no, you got to get your dick wet. That's for sure, James. Yeah, facts, bro. I try to not mix the words dick and kids in the same sentence, but yeah, I agree with you on that one.
When I talk about kids, everyone's a kid to me. I'm 45. I'm talking about your fucking 18 to 30s.
Yeah,
you're old man James now.
Yeah, no, he's Epstein Island here, peeps. I'm talking about your 18 to 30s crowd here. Everyone's a kid to me. I'm a fucking old man.
It's Uncle James, bro. Uncle James.
Yeah,
Big
Unc.
Unc
now.
Hey, don't say that out too loud.
Unk Max,
hell,
bro.
mate.
You got
That's right.
this.
My online career is it's been ended in this stream, mate. I tell you, it's over.
Nah, facts, bro. But no, I think we killed that one, guys. So we'll probably wrap it up here pretty soon. But that's kind of my take on it. And I had a really good time going on an EVS's stream last night, and I really enjoyed that. Really appreciate.
Tonight? Is he double dipping? Are you doing it again tonight?
No, I don't think I'm going on. He's probably gonna. I don't know if he's gonna do the art auction or anything like that. But I really appreciate him giving me the platform to try to get a couple more eyeballs on what I'm doing. Because like we've been talking about, you got to fight and claw for them eyeballs. If you ain't got the TNA like some of these female streamers, and you're not, a cute little thing, a pretty young thing out there doing your thing, you got to really work for it, bro, and get out there and make it happen.
I might have to start doing Zia bikini streams to see if I can get some views.
Yeah, that's right. No.
Well, the most important thing about Zia Land's presence, though, is that she slowly built it over consistently streaming for the last 3 years. And I watched her do it. Mint and I have hung out with her in real life and stuff in the past. She's great, but she's like business-minded. She was like renovating her house when we hung out with her. Some new house she had bought. Like, it's like one of those kinds of people can have a consistent career on here, with or without the tits, I'm saying.
No, I agree. Consistency is the most important thing. And you have to be, even if you ain't got nothing to do, you have to be consistent and then keep trying to evolve that. Because then you build momentum, then you start going forward. And this is something I'm learning about. I learned about it in art. I know how to do that in art, but on streaming, I don't know how to do it. I'm applying the same principles to a completely different media and trying to make it happen and have a good time and meet quality people. And that's been the biggest surprise for me is I met really good people, man. I met I met Mersh, I met EVS, I met Klippa, I met James, I met John, I met D-Wag, Professor Grass, and all the guys, even E-By Canales, Ryan Harkness. I met a ton of really cool people. And, it's been really a big blessing. And for me, it's kind of replaced my socialization because I live out in the desert, out in the sticks, I used to be down on the fucking beach, going to the bars all the time, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach area, cruising LA. But LA's dead now. So, it's kind of like, what do you got to do? So when we cap this thing off, guys, we're going to come around and get a couple final thoughts. So be thinking about that. We'll jump in the chat real quick. We got Tank Ferret in the chat. He says he could count how many times he's been burned. But as a tanker, he can only count to 4. So let's fucking go. That means he's going to keep going. The key is to improvise, he says. Adapt and overcome. Using the same failing strategy over and over is just silly. And I think that's a really good summarization of what we were talking about here and how to apply that to streaming. I didn't know we were going to talk about streaming today, but that was a lot of fun to talk about it. Riley, closing thoughts. What are your thoughts, bro?
Well, when you go on a stream, what you should do is you should have your phone out for the chat and the audio test. When you go on a stream, you say a few things, your introductory statements. Once the topic moves away from you, you go ahead and mute. And you can walk off for a second. Nobody's going to care. You turn your camera off. You turn the volume up on your phone, and you hear whether you're echoing or not, whether you're high or you're low or not. And then when you come back to participating, you've tuned the audio more or less to your liking. That's advice I'd give to anybody. It specifically applies to you right now, but... Yeah,
facts. Based. 100% true.
I'm gonna step in here, give James last because it's your guys' show. Your show. I totally fucking agree. Because with the audio, because that's the theme. So the
audio problems. Back to the topic.
I got people. When I started streaming, I knew. I didn't know it like Riley knows it, but I knew that like your shit needs to be on point. And when you have a fuck up, people will give you a little like whatever. But if your audio starts fucking up, dude, there's nothing that's gonna piss people off more. So like I would get in the back rooms and with buddies or something. So my audio, and like I was always on time. I never was late. But once you get like in these positions where you're streaming, like I wasn't prepared to stream, and when I went on Ethan's the first time, so I'm like, all right, let me pull out some bullshit trick I've done before. I have this like fucking mic made out of like a shop vac tube and a fucking McDonald's quarter pounder box, like with the shit like scribbled out and it said like Crackhead News Network. You know what I mean? It's got
you're really calling in from a dumpster, bro. I believe it.
I know, bro. But I popped out. I pulled up and popped out on Ethan's stream, and I had that, and I was like, I just got this blue Yeti, so I threw it back behind my head. But I didn't know that sweat had gotten to the fucking shit in my ear, my microphones and stuff.
Yeah, your earphones.
And yeah, and because I wanted to go, just show I was cool with him and shit, whoop-de-woo, chop it up for just a minute or two. But my shit was fucking like echo, because the water was in the microphone like hole or something. So like it was like, I think I just muted myself now, didn't I?
No, you're good.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay. So like, yeah. Tech issues, man. You want to work that shit before you get out on stream. I had a buddy one time. He was like, "There's nothing really you can do. Just gotta kind of go on there and just try it out." Like, no, you could have like done other things, recorded yourself, screen recorded.
100%.
So I'm gonna send it back to James, man. But yeah, Ray, you killed it on Ethan's. I don't know if he's gonna do another one. Sometimes he's yes, hot or cold on that shit. Sometimes he does it, sometimes he don't. Or he said he was going to, but I don't know if the auctions were going that great.
Yeah, based on audio feedback, or the audience feedback,
audience feedback, yeah. But you did great last night too. So like, I don't know, you may not want to, let people marinate on that fucking performance.
Facts.
But you might be able to replicate it again, bro, because you're fine.
Maybe.
You got the
We'll
fucking
see.
dope shit. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see.
You got them veto pieces, bro, hanging them out. So all right, I'm gonna pass it off to James, bro. Final thoughts.
Yeah, final thoughts, James. What you got, buddy?
I'm all good, bro. I'm fine. I'm fine and dandy, man. I'm all good.
Fire. Now the thing is like you also have to be like very consistent and James, me and James have been very consistent when we do. I talked to Riley, he's very consistent. He shows up. They're not flakers. A D-Wag shows up. That's the other thing is like when people flake, you just got to bounce on them. So that's kind of how I feel like that.
Great to meet you, James. Really great to get to
Yeah,
talk
it's good
to
to
you.
meet you, man. You were as advertised.
Yeah, facts.
You too.
All right, people, we're out of here. Go follow all these guys on X. CG Scumlord on X. James the Mythical Grabbin on X. And Darren Wagoneer on X. And let's have a good time. You guys kick some ass today. And let's fucking go. Yeah.
Wow.
Bow.